Yo, yo, what it do, beautiful people? Gene Williams here. I am one half of the dynamic duo that presents you Unbreakable Souls. Gotta welcome my brother Gary Newsom into the room. Coach G! Coach G! Gotta do the shows every time. Coach D!
What's up, man?
Can't even see you, brother. Listen if your screen is off. Yeah, yeah. Well, so today, the show is going to talking about honoring fathers, the silent warrior. And I know
Here
this
I
is a
am.
tough. Yeah, okay, sweet. Couldn't see you, man. So you got to do it with me. You got to do it with me. On three, you got to do Coach G with the shoulder. Now, come on,
Coach
three.
G, I'm here, man. What's
Coach
up?
G.
How you
There we
doing?
go. All is well, man. Good to see you. I see you
I'm at
out
the
there in the world.
I'm at the Greg Kleiss Community Center today. They're doing obviously a Juneteenth event. I work for Concord Career College,
Yeah,
and our staff is part of the healthcare career event. So our dental assisting program is here today, and just offering free services
right.
to the community. So it's just been a beautiful day, and
Awesome.
as people
Awesome.
come through, if there's a student that's available that wants information on school, then I'm here to be the recruiter to recruit them to
Awesome.
Concord. So
Awesome. Awesome. That's dope.
how's
That's
your day
really
been,
dope.
man?
Man, it's been a good day. I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't necessarily looking forward to this topic,
Right,
but
right.
I know it was hard for you on Mother's Day, and I promised you that I would push through on Father's Day. So here we are to do what we said.
Well, I would say equally difficult for me as well because obviously I'm a father.
Right.
And then I was estranged from my father for most of my life,
Yeah.
until he was always in my life, but we didn't really have a relationship. Had this,
Right.
early in life, elementary years, and then that dissipated until probably his last 2 years of his life. So it's
Right.
basically I got that part of his life plus, the early years, and then, not being fully connected back with my son. So I just got it from both sides, it feels like.
Right. Yeah. I feel you. I feel
Yeah.
you. Yeah. Same. Similar here. My biological father and I didn't have a relationship. From the age of 4.
Right.
You know, and I mean he was like in and out, but he wasn't around. Um, and then he passed away when I turned 22, 23, something like that. And then my stepdad and I, we didn't have a great relationship. We had a good relationship in the beginning, and then it dissipated as I became a preteen, teenager, and then but we actually have a better relationship now than we did before. So you know,
Well, that's good. That's some growth.
yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely, it's a blessing. It's a blessing. We were able to both put aside some trauma and kind of get an understanding from two adults, what was going on, and now we just have understanding. You know we look past that. It's like, look, we here now. We happy to be here. Happy
Right.
to have you in my life. You know what I
Right.
mean? So yeah,
So we just have had to pivot, and that's what we do
yeah,
on this show. And I knew today was going to be difficult
yeah,
for both of us. So I actually solicited, and they're working a little bit now, but when they get a minute, some of the people I met, a couple of members of our team from Concord, and another
sure,
lady that I met that was very instrumental, and she was just talking some positive things, and I was like, you need to come on and talk about your father today.
yeah.
And so I
That'd be
thought
dope.
I would lighten our load a
Yeah,
little bit,
I
lighten
appreciate
our
it.
load a little bit, and bring in
Yeah,
some special guests and let them talk a little bit about their fathers and honor
right,
their fathers. So
right.
I might just do that. I'm a wave a couple of them in. I don't
Yeah,
know if
yeah,
they're seeing me right now, but I'm waving
yeah,
at them. But
yeah. Yeah, but definitely. So I would have definitely, going through a situation with parental alienation. So I get it. I know you experienced the same thing. Um, so just dealing with that, that was the biggest thing for me. Didn't necessarily even want to think about Father's Day. I was going to try to sleep the whole day. That was the goal. Um, but Certain people won't let me do that.
Right, man. It's funny you even say
It is a good.
because
It is a good thing.
yeah, I mean that's where I was probably 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I wanted to just sleep, and I actually got up and then went to church, and
Yeah.
it was probably one of the best experiences in Father Days I've ever had um,
Right.
at church. So before we get started, if she has the courage to do this for me, this is one of my daughters. I love her. I coached her as a youngster. Her name was Ariana. I get
Hello,
this,
Ariana. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you in person.
and I'm gonna give her my headphones so you can hear her.
Hey, Ariana. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Doing well. Doing well. So you're one of my guys right there. He's an awesome brother right there.
He is.
So, and thank you for just being able to come on the show and talk about your father.
Of course.
And yeah. So you go ahead whenever you want to speak. Tell us a little bit about your dad and about
Um,
yourself as well.
about myself,
Yeah.
um, I don't know. I'm a college student. I go to Concord. I'm in the physical therapy assisting program there. It's
Awesome.
going really good. I just started, but I can tell that I actually found something I want to go out and do, and all my teachers are really supportive of what else we have going on, and not just being a student at some point. At some point, you have
Right.
to go out and do other stuff and make money some way, even though you're still
Right.
there. And they're really supportive of our time, and they
Yeah.
understand a lot. So
Yeah.
that's
That's
about it.
awesome.
And other than that, I work. So that's really
Hey, I
all I can do
understand.
anymore.
I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Um,
that's dope
So
that you
maybe
have the
tell us,
discipline
what
to
does
do both.
Father's
Yeah.
Day mean to you? I mean, today's Juneteenth, and you're out here
yes.
working with your mom and working with the college
Yes.
that you work with your former coach,
Yes.
your second papa.
Mhm.
But what, tomorrow's a big day too. What
Mhm.
does that mean to you tomorrow?
Father's Day really just means showing appreciation to specific men in your life. It doesn't even just have to be your own father, but father figures that maybe haven't showed you, maybe things that your father hasn't showed you that other people have, and you can
Right.
see other people and get a little bit from everybody out there. It's not just from one specific person, because you get to
Right.
see. So a lot of people get to see that love from their own father every day, whenever they get that. But to be able to have multiple father figures in your life, you get a lot of more love and more attention that you can give and receive.
Yeah.
What a good
Very
answer.
true. Very true. Very true. Love it. But yeah. So
What
tell us
else you
about your
got for it,
dad.
brother?
So tell us something about your dad specifically.
Um, about my dad's pretty cool, honestly. I mean, he's he's always been there. I know sometimes you don't get dads and daughters don't always get along, but I mean, we get along pretty good. I mean, it's pretty nice. He's always been supportive of what I wanted to do, no matter if he liked it or didn't, and he's always
Right.
had like give me I don't want to say freedom, but like my own choice in what I got to do. So it's
Right. That's
nice.
awesome.
And I mean, he coached me when I was little, so I mean, he's pretty good.
That's awesome.
Tell the audiences how I met your father, how we connected.
Through basketball and church.
Mm-hmm.
That was about
Awesome.
it. We went to church with Coach G,
Gee.
and then just from there we formed a bond through basketball and stuff like that.
Awesome.
And yeah, it was nice.
Awesome. That's dope. So maybe you just tell us a little bit about how having Coach G as a father figure in your life, how has that benefited you?
It's been good. Sometimes you have coaches. I've had many coaches in my life. I've played sports for almost 17, 18 years, and you can really see that some coaches you have like that one coach who they are only there for that reason. They're only there to be a coach. They're worried about win and lose,
Running
not
game.
about who you are and who you are as a person. And Coach G really makes sure that he's there for all of his athletes, and he's
That's
there to
awesome.
help always.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, he's an amazing man.
I didn't pay her to
appreciate
say it, brother. I didn't pay her to say it.
No.
How much did you get paid? I need to pay extra paycheck. I want some.
I know. Nothing this time. No, I'm just kidding.
This time we're going to talk about other time.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
I know. It was very nice to meet you. Thank you
Nice to meet you
for
as well.
thank you for just coming in and talking about the father figures in your life. I really appreciate that.
Thank you. Have a good day.
And listen.
So,
Of course. Sorry, my head.
Hey,
isn't she
Coach,
amazing, man?
yeah,
What?
she's amazing. Also, tell her that she and I work in similar fields. I'm a personal trainer, yoga instructor. She's one of the physical.
Oh
therapists.
yeah. She's on the back end of
Yeah.
that. So he's a personal
Yeah.
trainer.
Oh, nice.
So and yoga instructor and stuff like
Mhm.
that. So he's kind of on the front end, you're on the back end of that.
Right. Awesome.
Y'all got like energies, bro.
Yes,
Right.
Thank you, honey.
of course.
Awesome. Awesome.
Tell your mama she's up. Or Lucretia. So yeah, her mom works at Concord as the externship coordinator for our dental assisting program. So so I'm actually bringing to the stage now. This is Miss Lucretia, my sis.
All right.
She is. Remember, I talked about we're doing this event, healthcare event. She is our
How
dental
you doing?
assisting program
Awesome.
director.
Right.
So she runs the entire program. So her group is over doing what I was talking about earlier, the free care, dental care for the community. So I talked to her and I was like, tell me a little bit about your father. Father's Day coming up tomorrow. So I'm going to let her speak. I'm going to give her the headphones so you can talk to her directly.
Awesome. Hey,
Hello.
nice to meet you, Lucretia. How are
Nice to
you?
meet you. How are you, sir?
I'm excellent. So first, you got to tell us about yourself.
Gary kind of gave my introduction. So my name is Lucretia Miles. I'm the program director at Concord for the dental assistant program. I've loved dentistry all my life. I've done it since I was 17 years old.
Nice.
Rock star, bro. Rock star. I tell her story every day recruiting.
Yeah, I started
Yeah.
entry level and I've worked my way up. So
That's awesome.
Got a wall of fame in her office.
I have several degrees on the wall. I do.
There you go. Congratulations.
Thank
Black
you.
excellence. Black excellence.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So tell us about your dad, if you don't mind.
So my father, you know how everybody say they always have the best father in the world. I truly believe I have like the best father in the world. My dad's turning 70 this year in July.
Nice.
He was in remission, so he just beat cancer last year. And
Awesome.
then, like I said, he's the best father. Like if you meet him, he's a great man. So in every aspect that he's placed in, he's the best at it. Like he's the best father, the best husband, the best co-worker,
Right.
the best boss, the best uncle, the best
Right.
nephew, the favorite cousin. Like that's
Superstar. He's a superstar.
yeah,
across the
like
board.
he's my support system. Like
Awesome.
when out like in school when I was struggling, he was like, "All right, fine, we're gonna figure it out." So yeah, I love my
Love
dad. Shout out to Richard.
That's awesome. There we go. Yeah.
You got to put his name out
Give us-
there.
Right, exactly. Tell his name. Tell his whole name. Give him his
Shout
whole
out to
government name.
Richard. That's my dad. Yeah.
Well, we honor you, Richard. Richard, right, exactly. We honor you, Richard, for being such a great father. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So how long you known this brother right here beside you? How long you known him?
Couple of years.
Awesome.
Couple of years since we've been in Concord. He's amazing as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Great at what he does. I'm appreciative for, his contribution to help my program.
Bro,
Awesome.
only had one last time, but I'm gunning.
It's
I'm gunning.
okay. He does
Yeah.
well. He always volunteers and shows up and does a great job. The students love him. He gets great remarks and comments on our surveys anytime. We get feedback. So yeah,
Awesome.
even from high up, like our boss's boss, like the president's boss of the Concord, did a special thank you and a shout out to Gary on our video meeting, and was like, Gary's the best, and the students love him, and he has had the most enrollments and the best feedback of Concord history. So
Awesome. That is so dope. That's so
She's
dope.
embellishing
Hey.
it, bro.
Hey, I mean, listen, let them blow smoke and air up you. Come on now, blow your head up a little bit. Let it happen. Let it happen.
Absolutely. You take that.
You deserve it. You
And
deserve
walk
it.
it
You
and
deserve
walk
it.
in that light. Don't
I
let them
walk
dim
in
your
that
light.
Receive it. Exactly. Receive that. Receive that, brother. Receive that.
Can't
Both
hear
hands
me.
wide open. Tell him I said receive that.
And it's great.
Well, thank you, Lucretia, for coming on and talking about your dad and talking,
Absolutely.
great things
I
about
wish he was gonna
yourself and
walk through
Gary.
here because they said they was on their way, but
Yeah.
he would have walked through here eventually, scooting.
Your dad?
Yeah,
Oh,
scooting.
man, we get him on here.
Oh,
He
that's
is
a good
Your dad.
he is hilarious. I call him the most sarcastic, funny. Like you gotta have tough skin,
Right.
but he's gonna keep it real. And like I said, he's just an awesome person.
That's
So,
awesome. That's awesome.
all right, thank you. I'm gonna get back to working hard over here.
All right. Thank you for coming on, Lucretia.
Bye.
Thanks, sis.
You're welcome.
Oh,
Yeah, man. See, these are the dope people I get to work with every day.
that's so cool, man.
Yeah.
I just got one question, Coach G. Well, actually, I got two questions, and one is a Father's Day somewhat salute, but it's definitely y'all were talking about people carrying on the traditions and all along those lines. I actually saw that earlier today because, as I was telling y'all, I was getting from point A to point B. So I was at the Juneteenth celebration, and it was like about 100 degrees outside. So I'm not
Right.
staying all the way till 8 o'clock because it was a little bit too warm out there for me and everything. So I thought I'd come into the AC and all along those lines. But
Right.
it was actually started locally, at least one of them, by Spectacular Magazine, and Phyllis Coley was the person that created that and all along those lines. But the last couple of years, her son Lawrence has been taking over and everything. So it was just good to see him out there. I didn't see Phyllis. I'm sure she was out there somewhere. But even if you looked at the letters, it was actually, he was the point of contact. I think he's been the point of contact for a couple of years. So it's been good seeing the mantle being passed in that respect and everything. Like I said, I remember literally when he was a young kid, I think he was playing, you probably could have coached him if he was in your town because he was playing.
I would have definitely loved to have done that.
And all along those
Right.
lines, he was definitely in the sports environment. But like I said, the last few years, he has been taking more of a leadership role. And actually, if you went and saw the point of contact for the celebration on NCCU's campus this year, it was all about Lawrence Evans and everything. So it was good to see
Awesome.
that kind of passing of the buck and all along those lines. So that kind of falls in that Father's Day kind of mentality. Because like I said, I know his father had helped at one point or another, but I don't know he's been active because it was his mom that actually started the organization. But still, just to see him as a young man, kind of like those that young woman you were talking to earlier, kind of like getting the mantle and wanting to do something with it. So it was just good to see them out there.
Yeah. Well, it's actually kind of cool how Juneteenth and Father's Day, are kind
Right.
of back to back like that. I mean, I love that you have this great freedom, emancipation, and now national holidays. I actually learned today at the event I went to before. I'm in Missouri right now, but I was in an event earlier in Kansas, and the group that I was with actually had petitioned for the last 5 years the Governor Kelly here in Kansas to make it a state holiday.
Oh, wow.
And she kept saying no, no, no. And it was because of this advocacy group pushing and pushing and pushing, along with some other advocacy groups. They made it a national or a state holiday now in Kansas that was widely recognized. And the mayor spoke in the event today that I was at. And the mayor, I coached his son.
Wow.
I didn't even realize that.
That's
He's
crazy.
giving a speech today as I'm walking through, and he's like, and Coach G is here today.
I'm
I'm like, wait a minute, what?
No, but it's amazing.
Superstar.
It's amazing. Like you said, mayors and education, because the current mayor of Durham, and actually I saw him when I was out there, but Leonardo Williams is an award-winning educator. He's trying to deal with some of the gun violence and other things that are in the area, but he just recently became our mayor, but he has always been winning accolades from, I think it was Enfield and some of the other towns for his education and him being a award-winning educator types. And then he and his wife, who is from Zimbabwe, opened up a restaurant called Dwellies, and they have a sister restaurant that is part of their chain now, because they've got I think 2 or 3 restaurants, but it's a kind of food. But we at Biden's, I think, first debate, was even honored at one of those, like, you bring the people up that are engaged and all along those lines. So it's interesting having that parallel. And Coach G, you were talking about it. I know we talked about it before, but one of the groups that was out at Juneteenth was actually representatives of the Buffalo Soldiers. So the Buffalo Soldiers.
Really?
And
That
then
was
I was
crazy,
talking to
man.
a gentleman a couple of days ago that's trying to bring a play to this area, and I think he's going to travel it nationally about the Tuskegee Airmen. So that's some of that history that we oftentimes don't hear
Powerful
enough about.
history.
But those Buffalo Soldiers were no joke and everything.
Right.
And they were out there with a full tent and some of the folks that have been engaged in preserving that history.
That's powerful. That's powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just love how they coincided like that. And to your point earlier, Mark, I think it's powerful. Leaders are powerful when they're grassroots people.
Right.
Yes.
You know, so you mentioned the educators that have come through the grassroots systems
Right.
of different cities, I think are the best leaders.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think those are the people that we need to, as voters, vote into positions of power and leadership because they understand the people.
They understand the people. Unfortunately, one of the things that Leonardo was talking about is that sometimes there are roadblocks and people that don't want to see the truth of what's going on, and sometimes you have to vote them either out or get them to be more engaged so that actual changes can be made.
Exactly.
So I actually want to add to that. My perspective or viewpoint of this situation is that we need to. It's great to have. Now we have to have that level of the politicians and whatnot as well. But we also need people who are in the community. Constantly creating things. So basically, we don't need them. It's just how you want the state that you're in. But having it on the community front first and foremost is the big thing. That's why I've always had a lot of respect for the Black Panther Party, the Breakfast Club, and things of that nature. Like they took care of the community, and the government just took care of the stuff around it. But their particular communities were taken care of by them and people who look like them. So,
But Gene, to that point, a lot of times people forget that some of the programs that we get criticized for were actually started by the Black Panthers, and then we're actually
right
as well. Because whether it was some of the food giveaways and some of the other programs that the government likes to pride itself on, they'd forget to honor and acknowledge the fact that it actually started first with the Black Panthers.
Right.
Yes, sir. Say that.
Hey, gentlemen, we're gonna come back to that. I got another guest. I saw this young king that walked by and was getting some candy from our desk, and I'm like, "What's Father's Day mean to you?" So I was prompting him. So I just let's just put him on air and see what Father's Day means to him. Okay, what's your name, sir?
Let's go for it.
Say again. More. Oh, I'm gonna let him. I couldn't even hear it. It's so loud in here. Here he is.
Hey, what are you doing?
My name is Morze.
Say it one more time.
Morze.
Okay. Awesome. So, what does Father's Day mean to you, man?
Like a savior, a person I looked up to.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, you have a great father in your life, huh? Tell us a little more about him if you don't mind.
You can say that.
Do you have a lot of father figures in your life? You have your main dad, but do you have people like Coach G and others that serve as father figures in terms of being mentors?
Yes.
Awesome. Man, that's great. So what are you in school for, if you don't mind me asking?
You said what I'm going to school for?
Yeah.
I'm going to school to go to the NFL, succeed in life, maybe start a business after high school.
Okay. There you go. Awesome.
What position are you going to play in the NFL?
Wide receiver.
There you go. How tall are you, man? How tall are you?
5'7".
Awesome. So you're going to be speedy.
I got one quick question for you. I'm assuming that you're going to be playing for the Kansas City Chiefs. Otherwise, Coach G is going to disown you.
Yeah.
So you got any idea what college you want to go to?
Nah, not really. I don't know yet. I'm still thinking.
Still thinking.
How old you said you're 17?
Nah, 16.
Oh yeah, so you got some time. You'll figure it out, man. That's cool. So I know coaches helped you a lot with the training and whatnot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Yeah, he's a great guy. So how did you meet him, if you don't mind me asking?
Met him playing football outside in the big yard outside of Greg Center.
Okay, that's dope.
That's real dope.
On the ground floor. On the ground floor as always, Coach G. That's my guy right there, man.
And don't just think about the major schools when you go off to college, because the HBCUs, because there have been a lot of NFL players that have come from there as well. So you might look at somebody like a Grambling or somebody that's one of the historically black colleges and universities, because there's been some pretty good NFL players that have come out of those schools. Matter of fact, we just learned that the CIAA, which is one of the tournaments here in North Carolina, will be here in Durham 2005, 2006, and 2007. So if you keep on playing and you come down here, I might see you in a championship game.
That's dope. Well, yeah, brother, just keep disciplined, man. Keep training hard. Keep visualizing your success, because you are what you think about all the time. So keep visualizing your success. Keep visualizing yourself on the field. Dominating people. And you get there, man. You get there.
Thanks.
Yeah. Hey, thanks again for coming through, man.
You too.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, sir.
So, Coach, I expect that we're going to see him in 2025, 2026, and 2027, just over there playing in that CIAA championship.
Right.
Yep.
That would be powerful to see that young man we just interviewed
Yeah.
out there like that. So,
Yep. Yeah, that's dope, man. It's dope that you're able to just pull them in like that. And that you had such a profound effect on the people around you. Just
I was trying, man, trying to do my thing, So I think as they come through, they show some interest or something. He just was standing here looking at me, watching what I was doing. So it was an opportunity to talk to him a little bit about fathers. So.
Right.
Good. I don't know what you're asking him, because remember, I can't hear it. I'm using the headphones, but I love how you're keeping them engaged, and he without hesitation jumped right in. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, I got another lady. She keeps coming through here, but I always have somebody up here. But I know she wants to talk pretty passionately about her father. So
awesome.
Yeah, but in the meantime, man, how you doing? So how are you feeling about tomorrow? What's running through your head?
Honestly, like right now, I'm not really thinking about the actual day. I would love to see my kids, tomorrow, but that's highly unlikely. Or hear from them. But my plan is to have a good day. Kind of recount positive things. Look at pictures of happier times or videos of happier times. And, just other than that, I'm going to a concert because I'm not going to sit around and sulk all day. If I got to be up doing something, I'm going to listen to some music.
Right.
Makes sense. Hey, Coach G and Gene and everything, that actually raises an interesting question, because I got a friend of mine who's kind of like what you're going through, Gene. He's going through some real hard times. As a matter of fact, I talked to him earlier today and was trying to literally talk him off the cliff, if I can use that expression and everything, because he was very close to his daughters. He's not that close to them now and everything, and things aren't quite going the way he would like, housing wise and even career wise, because he is a musician also. So if somebody that is going through those difficult times, what words of encouragement can you give, or what advice can you give? Because he's not a spring chicken. I won't say he's older than me, so he's probably like in his mid-60s, but he's very close to his daughters that are high school age and maybe even a little bit older. But I know that he's facing some difficult times, because he really wants to talk to them, and like you, he's afraid that they won't even be calling him tomorrow. And I know that that's really putting him in a very difficult position, where he really wants to hear from them and is afraid that their mother won't let him hear from them and everything. So what advice would you give to folks that are going through those kind of difficult times?
Man.
Lord, Mark, why are you going to ask me that question?
Because it came to me today, because he asked me that question.
Man, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna keep it a buck. It's gonna be tough. They don't call. Just do your best to remember and recall times that were good. The love that you shared when you were in each other's presence. Just find something to help you channel channel the energy, the sadness, the anger, the grief, the remorse, whatever. Find something to help you constructively work through it. Because if you sit around and let it fester, it becomes something worse. So just process it, understand and honor the fact that you are hurting and you're sad about it. I'm not even gonna read that message. But yeah, man, just do your best to remember the good times. And man,
Yeah, he is a great father. I'll pull some heat off of him and answer some of that question too, because it's hard as a man, because the one thing that we get emotional about, or the thing that we let our guard down with, is our children.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we can be as hard as I don't know what, but one of the one things that breaks that armor, or that we don't have to feel secure, you know, or guarded, whatever the words are, is with our children. And when you're estranged from your children, that's an ache that doesn't go away.
Right.
exactly.
So yes, we try to stay busy. We try to occupy our mind and our thoughts, but it's an ache that just doesn't go away, and you can't even put words to it. I mean, like tomorrow, I'm just like you, Gene. I'm hopeful that, you know, I've made some headway with my older son, with two meetings, 3 meetings. My middle son is now starting to return some of my text messages, and you know,
Awesome.
I've had an ongoing kind of thing going on with my baby boy. So I'm hopeful, and I say this because I think we have to, as fathers, we have to speak things into existence, and we have to see things that happen before they happen. So I was in the beginning, I was in that space where I didn't want to even think about it. I didn't want to even give myself place to hope that things would change. But then that's the fruit that I receive. If I want the situation to turn around, as the word says, you sow what you reap, what you sow. So I want to reap a harvest of reconciliation and love with my boy. So that's what I'm going to sow. Even if they're not present today, I'm still going to sow love, in my heart, in my mind, in my prayers, in my spirit. Yes, tomorrow I'm hopeful that I will get a text message, even more so that I'll get a call, even more so that I'll get a knock on the door, and you know, or a text, Dad, can we meet you for breakfast? Can we meet you for lunch? Can we meet you for dinner? I don't even know what I would do. I would be a deer in headlights if I got a text message saying that, because I would just be shocked and stunned. But would I go? Of course, I would have to run and go. But man, we just have to, as fathers who are hurting and wounded, we can't let that pain overcome the power of our words and the power of our thought. You know, we use it and we talk about it on this show in so many different areas. Well, why can't we apply it to this? We want to be reconciled to our children.
Absolutely.
And we are standing in the gap for each other, and the fathers that are listening to this show today and tomorrow and at other times, we are standing in the gap for you today. And we're speaking it into existence today, that you will be reconciled to your children. Gene, specifically, you will be reconciled to your children. Gary, Coach G, you will be reconciled to your children. All you men out there in podcast TV land, pod TV land, you will be reconciled to your children. Right here today, we have decreed and declared it, and it will be so. May not happen tomorrow, may not happen next year, but it is going to happen. Coming. Just stand on the wall, continue to be the warrior that you are.
No. That's what the one thing I've seen is that they be strong warriors. Got to be those strong.
Now. You have a church in here now.
Church got to be those strong warriors. There ain't no doubt about that. Now we'll have a slightly lighthearted moment, because you know me, I'm good for doing some lighthearted to our serious conversation and everything. Please, whatever you do, and I'm going to use a Christmas analogy, and I think Gene and Coach G will get a kick out of this, because I was guilty. I was guilty when I was younger, maybe in my early 20s or early 30s or whatever and everything. Whatever you do, when you get Dad that Father's Day gift, please do not make it a fruitcake type gift and everything.
Right.
I know that I did that one time. I went out and got a gift for my dad that was like a poster, and Dad, who is an artist, looked at me like, Mark, you know good and well that this does not represent your love of me or even is reflective of what is our true connection and everything, because he knew that it was me being getting a gift on the fly and then on the quickness, and basically that's why I used the fruitcake analogy, because nobody likes the fruitcake that you get on Christmas and everything. So don't get fruitcake type gifts.
Right, and no socks and no ties. We don't want either one. Okay, well, I love socks. If you don't get socks for me, they better be like special with like horror figures or something on it. It got to be colorful. If it's gonna be a tie, it's got to be the same. I'm fly like that. I like flashy stuff.
Yeah, but you don't want you don't want no average tie. You don't want like no pair of white socks.
No, because I'm not gonna wear them.
Yeah, don't go to Walmart and give me the 6 pack of tube socks. just give me the $5 for that.
Right.
So you take the gift certificate.
I'll get a pack of gum.
Right. Oh yeah. But I'm always, I've always got gum in my. That's privacy to me.
It says you take the gift certificate and get your own gift for $5.
Yeah. I'd probably buy some gum.
Right. Yeah. I definitely needed to push through this. I didn't want to, but everything has a purpose. And like I said, I gave you my word that I was gonna be here for this day. I know it was gonna be tough for both of us. So, I'm glad to be here. I'm sure you're gonna find some people to come on and just kind of show love for their father. Mark.
Yes.
You're speaking about your father.
Yes.
Please give us a spiel about your dad.
Yes.
Oh, my dad is amazing. Truly one of the inspirations
while I search for more people here.
Truly one of the inspirations for me and my life. Like I've told y'all before, when I was a youngster, I won't say when Malik was born, which would have been 1969, he actually created and was one of the founders of the Malcolm X School here in Durham. He was very much involved in the civil rights struggle, and like with a teammate of my mom at the time, because they were together, they founded a community radio station in a town that had no radio station and had a small AM station, but didn't really have the kind of jazz and blues and activism radio that they were big fans of, and all along those lines. From the time that I was born until now, Dad is one of my true warrior mentors and people that I go to when I need advice and all along those lines. So he is definitely still very much engaged, not just with me, but with my younger brother. Matter of fact, he built, I should try to see if I can find that. I'm gonna show you how crazy my dad is if I can find the Instagram and everything. Because they had a science project. I was gonna actually show it, I think, on somebody else's show, but they had a science project, and Dad is a master of science. So he created this Instagram. He created something for them as their 15 and 16-year-old selves and everything. When you see this, you're gonna be like, wait a minute, this kid needs to get like about a double A and everything, because this is just crazy what Jim Lee helped them create and everything. And he has, if you're interested in him, you go to bamboodirtle.com, because he is a well-known regional artist here in the area. You can see some of his work.
That's pretty dope, Mark.
You will see some of his work and all along those lines. I'm going to see if I can get to this Instagram to see some of what he's all about, and also show you some of who he is and what he's all about. But yes, I am a big supporter of my dad and everything.
That's wonderful. Well, this is the young lady that I was talking about. I'm still here at the health care fair. I can't even talk anymore. Health care fair. As I was going around, I went to her table. So her card is in my backpack. So I'm gonna have to ask her name again. I'll let her introduce herself and talk about what she does. But she was so instrumental in what she was sharing, and I hope she'll share some of that as well a little bit. But I really wanted to talk about her father too. So she was really excited when I told her she had the opportunity to share about her father. So here she is.
Let's go.
Go for it.
That's good camera over there. There we go.
Hello, happy Juneteenth, y'all.
Hey, how you doing, Corey?
Good, how you doing? I'm Paisley Williams. I work at Casey Care Health Center on 3515 Broadway. And so what we were doing here today at the Juneteenth Festival inside of the Greg Price Center, we were doing sexual health awareness, and we were testing people STI education knowledge. We were giving away HIV oral swab rapid tests where people get their test result in 20 minutes. And then we were also offering a 5-panel STI test kit that was HIV, gonorrhea, chlamydia, syphilis, and trick, all in a
Wow.
bag, a urine sample that people can take at home.
Wow.
They mail
Wow.
it in and they get their result to their phone.
Told you she
That's
was dope.
crazy.
That
That
is
is
Mhm.
crazy.
Yeah,
Wow.
so we were giving that away today, and there's still a lot of stigma around sexual wellness.
Mhm.
A lot of
Right.
people that came to the table was like, "Oh, I'm celibate. Oh, I don't need it." But I was like, if you all know a young person
Right.
that
Right.
needs these test kits, I don't need to know if it's for you or not because
Right.
all STIs in Kansas City is up. All of them, mainly gonorrhea, chlamydia, and
Say
syphilis.
that again, sis.
Wow.
All STIs in Kansas City is up, and HIV just recently in the last quarter has
Man.
increased more.
Wow.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow. I'm glad you're on the forefront of that, so y'all can
Yeah, it's great that you're on the forefront.
maybe
Like,
quell that. Yeah.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
And
And
so
so,
many people were just amazed with the education and things that we were giving out at the table because the STI test that we were giving out at the table, one of the boxes is like $60 at CVS, and the one that tests for 5 is $139. But we
I
were
have
giving
to
it away
grab
for
that.
free today.
oh yeah, you blessed the whole community.
Yep,
You blessed the whole community.
I
yeah.
did, I did.
And I, and I love the fact that you are educating about sexual health because
Mhm.
unfortunately, sex is still stigmatized in this
Yes,
world. There's
yes.
always, and it's like, yo, sex is natural. And
Mm-hmm.
we have to understand that there's this part of it. You
Yeah.
can get it, STI or pregnant or whatever. So again, I
Mm-hmm.
commend you. Thank you for the
Thank
awareness.
you.
Just really quickly and out of curiosity, because as I was telling Gene and Coach G, I had just come back from a Juneteenth celebration. As a matter of fact, it's going on, and there were some people doing health and everything else. But one of the things that I did was I ran into our mayor here in Durham, North Carolina, and we've been having a lot of incidences, and I imagine y'all have been having it too, not just with the physical health, but also with gun violence as well. So I was wondering if that is something that is being a concern both in Kansas and Memphis, because like I said, it's a major concern here. As a matter of fact,
Oh yeah.
I missed being part of a drive-by by literally about 5 minutes. I got off the bus and the
Wow.
drive-by was literally 5 minutes later when I went into my place of work and everything. That's how close I
Wow.
was. And
God was a fence.
Yeah.
God was a
Yeah.
fence
Right.
for real.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately. No, you
No,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, go ahead. I don't know how podcasts go. This is my first time. I
You
was
good.
told to talk about my dad too. So
First time
whenever,
of
Yeah.
many, because we're gonna have her back and
okay.
give her a
Right.
platform
Okay.
to talk about what she just talked about.
Yes. We
Thank
need
you.
that.
I would love to
Yeah.
come back. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my late father, William McKinley Connor, um, passed away from ALS in 2022.
Well,
And I feel so honored to be at the stage of grief, of acceptance, to really outwardly talk about this. It has been 2 years. 2 years, September, no, it will be 2 years, September 30th, when he passed away and transitioned. But just a wonderful father. We all done things in our life, but that makes who we are.
Right.
It
Right.
it evolves us, and
Right.
he is definitely truly missed. He is definitely. I feel I carry him
Yeah.
everything I do. Like, I'm a manager now. Everything I do, the leadership that I have, the skills that I have, the woman that I am, it
Yeah.
was not of my own. It was because I fortunately had a 2-parent household and had a strong male that was in my life.
Yeah.
And I embrace that. I miss that. And so now, the way I carry on his legacy, like, a lot of people think legacy is because of the money you got or trust
Right.
or
Right.
anything, but my legacy is to my kids. He spent time with me. My legacy is passing on those leadership skills that kids today is going to need, that is
Right.
not taught. And what keeps me going and settle my grief and carry me through is thinking of him in those light.
Yeah.
Because when you have somebody that passed away, you want to stay in that dark moment of
Right.
remembering how, if they pass away from a disease, how disease may have deteriorated their body, especially if anybody has lost a loved one to ALS. It is a terrible physical deterioration disease.
Yeah.
And to see your loved one go through ALS, like I did at his last moments, and he was in Chicago, you want to stay there because all you can think about is I shoulda, coulda. I
Right.
wish I had. I wish I was there. I couldn't be there. I was 9 months pregnant.
Wow.
He was in Chicago, and
Right.
I legally was not able to get on a plane.
Mhm.
Wow.
And my dad passed the month I gave birth to my second child.
Wow.
So, what a beautiful life he lived, a beautiful service we gave him. But I tell anybody, losing a parent is on a whole different other caliber than any
Right.
other relative that you have.
Right.
I've got to put you in touch, ma'am, with a good friend of mine, and I think I've mentioned his name to Gene. I don't know if I mentioned it, Coach Gene, but Pierce Freeland's dad, Phil Freeland, who was a known architect. He actually built part of the African American Cultural Arts Center. As a matter of fact, he was the principal architect for the one in DC, but he died of ALS as well. And it's actually, they have created a cultural arts center here called North Star Church of the Arts that Pierce, who is a well-known hip hop artist and father himself, because he even did a song about being a dad in his one of his latest releases. But he definitely honors his dad, who also passed of ALS and was died very. It was a quick time frame that he went through. Like I said, he was diagnosed, and it was very shortly thereafter that he passed. Because I remember going to the memorial after he had passed. Because, like I said, he was a very well-known architect. If you look up Phil Freeland, you'll see that he designed all kinds of amazing buildings up and down the East Coast, and I think even some in the Midwest as well. But he definitely was involved in that ALS struggle.
Yeah, ALS is a very quick disease. I got there, I became power of attorney, and then just like I became power of attorney in June going into July, and he passed. He passed within 2 to 3 months.
Right.
And dads try to hide things from their little girls.
Yeah.
They try to be the protector and mask stuff. But the first thing we noticed was like his speech. His speech started going, and his right side of his body. And it takes a long time to diagnose ALS. They go through so many different tests because it mimics a stroke.
Right.
And they go through a string of tests to really figure out if it was ALS or not. So I really appreciate the time. I don't want to hold y'all up. I look forward to hearing from you to kind of get back. But thank you, and happy Father's Day to everybody who still has their physical father here, the Heavenly Father. And I wish everybody happy Father's Day and embrace the man that is in your life. Thank you.
Thank you,
Paisley. Matter of fact, just along those same lines, because it was 2019 that Phil passed, and the family actually created the Freeland ALS Fund to support research and treatment of the disease. So he was diagnosed in 2016, so it was 3 years later that he passed away, and he passed away at 66. So that's actually a relatively young age to die.
It is. That sounds about right for ALS, 3 to 5 years after diagnosing.
So sorry for your loss. I'm glad you had a great father. And in spiritual cultures, I know it's painful as we experience it, but when you have a person pass and another person born, it's like they pass that legacy on through their DNA right into that child. So just know that your dad is there with you and that child at all times.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how they really unfold into his personality as they grow, because they're 5 and 19 months. So I know it's gonna come out, and he's definitely watching over us. Nice meeting you all, Jane and Mark. Take care. Thank you, Coach G.
Just really quickly, because y'all asked me earlier and everything, so I did find what I was looking for. But this is, if I can find this one, but like I said, this is the one that Dad helped my nephews do just a short while ago, and all along those lines. So if you look and you'll see, because Dad is very much of a scientist, that is what he helped the kids create. But as you can see, it's a 3D model, and he helped the teenagers create that and everything.
Oh, wow.
They said one of the grandsons needed some help with a 3D model of a cell for a biology class. This is what we came up with. So that's literally what they created together.
That's amazing.
Wow.
That's amazing.
So detailed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what Dad does.
That's awesome, man. I mean, wow, that's dope. That's dope. Super dope. You said your dad is how old again?
Dad will be turning on June 20th. So but in 5 days, because Father's Day is tomorrow, and on June 20th, he will be turning 84.
Your dad will be turning 84? Wow.
He'll be
So
turning,
no,
and mom just turned 82. Dad will be
Wow.
turning 84. And like I said, he is still very active. Even at 84, he's still doing a lot of his artwork. And I'll just show you really quickly his webpage and everything. Because as you can see, he is still very active and still does a lot of amazing artwork. This just in general. This is the one I told you he did about thoughts and prayers in case of a mass shooting, because he felt that we too often gave lip service to it versus actually doing actions versus everything.
Oh, wow.
That's his work that he did. This is some of his other work that he does. Like he does some block works, and then he's done some other kinds of amazing things as well. Show you a picture of him, because you'll say, "There's no way this man is 84." Because I'm actually going to show you his bio and everything.
What was that?
Yeah.
This is like some of his insect art as well, because he also does some art with insects and things around that. And sometimes it's about the human body as well, because this is a piece of
nice. Oh, that's dope. It's
that is pretty dope.
Man. Hey, love it.
Showing the comparison between insect and man and everything, but just really quickly so y'all can see the man himself and everything.
Podcast.
If I can find the artist statement, which has got the picture of Dad.
Okay.
That is Dad right there.
Huh?
Oh yeah. I see it all day long. I see it all day long. You look just like him.
Yeah.
Oh, you do look just like your dad. That's amazing.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
So he's a fellow Gemini Cancer customer.
Yep. June 20th.
I'm June 23rd, so you know.
Yep.
Man, it's funny. The young guns are coming in now, and they're like, "Are you live or something on TV?" I'm like, "Can you mention my name?"
Right. Let's go. Get a recruiter out this way.
So shout out to DeMar. I don't even know who DeMar is. He's not even here right now. But shout out to DeMar.
Nice to
That was funny.
DeMar.
Right. I just did, brother. Yes, ma'am. As
How long is this event going for?
Shout out my name.
Yeah.
But I told you that sister was awesome, man.
Yeah.
Did I tell you? She was powerful.
Definitely.
She was powerful.
That's awesome, man.
I
definitely love to do.
Yeah, I had such a great conversation with her earlier. So I was like, we got to do a show just to get you on as a guest, to really share.
Do we talk about sexual trauma at all?
Not yet, I don't think. And then that could be the ramifications of that. Right. And then we had Danica was throwing some good comments out there about that too.
Right. She was about that as well as about gun violence, which I had brought up, because she was saying that it's as bad in Memphis and other places as well.
Yeah, no, that one's the gun violence one's near and dear to my heart. That one's pretty painful. It's 3 sons I've lost, so spiritual sons.
No, and I had a friend of mine. I don't know how many I've lost to that, but I'm sure there are some. But I had a co-worker of mine that literally, we forget that it's not just here, but it's in other parts of the world as well. So he's from the Virgin Islands, and I think that my friend Sheila's other half, her guy friend and everything, I want to say he's lost 2 or 3 sons to piracy, because literally they raped them and killed
what?
Them. Yeah.
Piracy.
Oh my God.
Because they were there in the Virgin Islands, but it was gun violence, piracy, and everything.
Wow. Well, you don't hear that every day.
Right. Exactly. Right. Yeah.
I'm kind of trying to.
I was gonna say I've lost several friends growing up, from gun violence and things of that nature. So unfortunately, I know it well as well.
Yeah, I've lost 3.
Yeah. But it's not just gun violence, because I think I mentioned on the past show, but it can also be the trauma of just violence, just death in general. Because I know I've lost some people. I think I told y'all sometime back I lost a theater friend and a theater ally who literally had an asthma attack and died while he was out there on a river trip and everything. So this was like a decade.
Yeah.
He was out there, and he was just out there enjoying the water. And I think that the attack happened at the time he was in the water. So that's another form of trauma that's like a health-related trauma.
Yeah. Right. Jeez.
Well, what do you guys think? I think, our own personal reflections. I guess I didn't go. My father was an amazing man, and
Yeah.
I didn't. Like I started with in the beginning, we had our issues in the beginning of, well, I'd say it was good until he lost the job, and that's a longer story that I think I talked about last week. But actually, I talked about that on AYP and Activate Your Power Now when I spoke. But there was a point where things were great, and then he went through some personal trauma and disconnected himself from the family. And I even wrote a paper in high school the day my father died, and my mother found it, and then my father found it, and that he turned up the heat on me after that. But so tumultuous relationship all through the majority of my life, even into adulthood. And when I think of pain in my life or trauma in my life, I'd say probably 75-80% of it came from the hands of my father. And that being said, one of the greatest speeches, you guys know I'm a public speaker, so one of my greatest speeches was called 63 Days, where I talked publicly about my father and the 63 days that he spent in Research Hospital here in Kansas City. And I have a brother, younger brother, older sister, but I was the one that was there all 63 days. And the Lord used that 63 days where this man had tore me down for 48 years, 49 years of my life. He rebuilt Coach G in 63 days. Wow. He remembered moments that I had buried and forgotten because they were too painful, pulled them to the surface. This is a man lying on his deathbed and would just come lucid for 2 to 3 hours and have conversations. We'd pray, we'd talk, and he would just go through event after event after event. And, son, remember this and remember that. And I'm sorry. I should have did this. I should have said that. I should have been there for you in these situations. Man, just completely rebuilt me in 63 days. I am the man that I am today, the warrior that I am today, because of those 63 days. Because right behind that is when him dying was the start of my trauma. That's when the floodgates opened and all the things that happened, life just went crazy for me. So had I not had those 63 days with my father, I'm probably not sitting here on this show with you today. That's how significant it was. So the power of a father, as I said in my speech, are silent heroes. The silent heroes, because we take all the heat. Everyone wants to love on their mama, but the fathers are the silent heroes. They're the ones that have to lay down the law. They have to enforce the law and make the rules and set standards. They have to work hard to provide for the family. There's no breathing room in that. You got to be the one that says, no, I can't afford that. So you can't have that toy. You can't have that car. You can't have that suit. You can't have that game. And they forget, our children sometimes forget the plethora of times that we say yes to all those things. They just remember the no's. So the responsibility, that weighs on a father is tremendous. So I sit here today as a healed 53-year-old man because of my father in those 63 days. And I have to honor the Lord because he knew he knew I would move into a space and time where if I didn't have those 63 days.
Did he just freeze?
That fortified me. Now he's been gone 4 years now, but man, I'm not even here. Because when Dad died, that's when the floodgate, the dam was leaking. But when Dad died, the dam broke. It just, everything came out and everything that could happen, happened.
And rightfully so, it was intended to be, as you like to say, and everything along those lines. So definitely I can see that it was intended to be. But sometimes it's interesting, as you were saying that, I was thinking about how sometimes they don't even see eye to eye, because y'all was asking me about my dad and everything. And I don't think that my dad, or for that matter, my dad and granddad and dad and grandma saw eye to eye, because that was the time of the 60s revolution. So Dad was definitely, as I said, more militant, and they were more of the wanting to be more of the appeasers versus the kind of radical. So there was that whole argument going on as well and everything. So with it, Granddad was probably more of a person that wanted to appease the situation and not rock the boat, whereas Dad was definitely ready to rock the boat.
Stay young tenacity.
Yeah, young tenacity, no matter what young you are. But even ironically, I know we're wrapping up, I just learned recently that I have a cousin who is very much and has always been very much of a tomboy, and she's very close to her dad. Her dad passed. I think I mentioned to you, Uncle Randy passed away about 2 years ago and everything. But she has now gotten into what was his sport, because I never knew her to play golf at all. But now, as a way to bond with him, because she was always into basketball and into coaching basketball teams and very much into other sports. I think she even did some softball, but I could be wrong, but I never remember her really hitting the links. But now that he's gone, and it's a kind of a way to reconnect herself to him, even though he's not there and everything. So she's out there hitting the links now and everything. So that's something I'm going like, I don't remember that being your hobby, but it's something that gives her a bond to her now.
Right, her father. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, fathers, man. Fathers are so needed, especially to have a good structure. Just to have them around, knowing that they care, man. It gives you that confidence to know I'm worthy of love. I'm worthy, to have whatever I desire. To give you the discipline, to give you the focus,
Mm-hmm.
and also you can have a lot of fun with that. I know, I know with my kids, we had a lot of fun, but I was also very much the disciplinarian, when we set the standards, the educator. So you get all of that bundled into one with the father. And you get the same with the mother in a lot of ways, but it's different when the father's there.
Yeah, and like
honor all fathers. Honor all fathers out there. Father figures. We are strong for a reason. We were meant to be this way, and it's just, man, I guess just a pleasure to be an example set.
I know we're winding down, but that's what we're going to say is we definitely got to honor those father figures, because like I told you before, I was talking to a couple of folks that are like me, don't have any kids of our own, but we have plenty that we mentor and that we talk to on a regular basis. So we are those
just as important.
We have to be an important part of that conversation, because I know that this is sometimes seen as a cliche, but it is very true cliche that it does take a village to raise anybody and everything. So that notion of having folks that are out there helping you, it might even be your local store owner, or it might be your local person at the gas station, but they are some father figures that are people that you go and talk to. It might be somebody at your favorite restaurant that you talk to when you can't get to your own father, or in the case of like Coach G, a coach figure and everything. So those father figures that are very important, because I'm sure, Coach G, you've got some fellow coaches that are not fathers yet, but that they are definitely still coaching their athletes along with you that are
because coaching and mentoring young people. I think between coaching and a youth pastor or minister, man, I got such a group of young people that I've had to be father to, and it's an honor to, of all titles, father is probably top of the line other than man of God, but to be called a father, there's not much better to me than that. So
that's my favorite title.
All the hats I had, but I'll take fatherhood any day.
Agreed. Man.
Well, it was a great show, gentlemen. I know I had some distractions because I'm mobile today. I'm real for all the people. Lucretia was just right here. Thankful for all the people that in our show today, and all the witticisms that were by Gene and Mark today. I appreciate y'all, brother. We got through, Gene.
We made it. We made
through
it.
This, man.
And no tears.
We made
and
it.
No tears on this one.
It would have been okay if we had the tears.
I mean, you're right. You're right. It's very okay if we cry. I don't want to cry, man. I'm tired of crying. I'm tired of being angry and sad. I know.
Right.
I'm tired of crying. I'm tired of being angry.
You got to come off that wall sometimes.
I mean, I do. It's just what I don't want to.
Yeah, but sometimes that wall is an unnecessary wall, because literally, we can get off of this note because it's not necessarily a father note. But as y'all know, I was getting from point A to point B on the bus, and there was a family that was coming on the bus, and they had like some swimming items, and one woman was just getting frustrated. She wanted to have like an attack on the bus. I'm going like, I understand that maybe the little what do you call them, pool toys are interfering with you slightly, but you can calm it down a moment. You don't have to like get all upset because she was like wanting to spit on the people and cuss them out. I'm going like,
Oh,
they're just trying to get from point A to point B so they can go
Point
enjoy
B,
this.
like you.
right.
They're not trying to have you give them drama, but it was unnecessary drama. Sometimes when I see that, I'm going like, there is a time for necessary drama, but sometimes you see the unnecessary drama and you're going like, you can just talk it down for a minute. They're not going to hurt you.
Right.
Exactly.
For sure.
On that note, I think we're losing the gene signal, so we'll go out with our kids safe and everything, and then we'll be back next week with more conversation. And there's a lot of other great things we'll have and everything. Definitely happy Father's Day to all that are watching, and those that will be watching in rerun land as well. So definitely happy Father's Day to you, Gene. Happy Father's Day to you as well, Coach G. Happy Father's Day to a number of the other ones also. So happy Father's Day to all the fathers that are listening, as well as the father figures also. And we're going to go out with a PSA about keeping our kids safe, because it's always important to keep those kids safe as well as mental health. They even talk about the importance of mental health on this 2 PSAs. So let's go out with these 2 PSAs, and we'll see the 2 of you gentlemen on well, I won't see you, Gene, because y'all are on sabbatical for a little bit. I'll see you on next week on the this show on Unbreakable Souls, and I'll see Coach G on Tuesday with those misfits. Those misfits, they just keep getting in.
Misfits managed. Let's go.
Cool. So we will see.
Peace and love,
oh
everybody.
my God, my brother just walked in. This is. Can I have 3 minutes?
Yeah, go for it.
Yes, Marc, get over here. This is Ariana's father.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm gonna let him talk just real briefly about father, what it means to be a father.
Wow, you put me on the spot like that. What it means to be a father.
What a treat for me.
How you doing, Gene? How you doing, sir?
How you doing, brother? Nice to meet you, man.
Doing well.
Yeah.
So I would say the one word that comes to my mind when I think of that is responsibility.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Because we're raising another person in this world, trying to teach them the right, wrong, and teach them also how to be their own person.
Yeah.
So I would say just one word is responsibility, because it's my responsibility to help them become the people that they are and move on to this world and do the same thing for others.
Right. Agreed, man. We got to set the example by being the best version of ourselves. So we set the example for them. So yeah, I salute you. Happy Father's Day.
You too. And then with that being said, someone like, I call him Coach, right? Brother.
Right.
Coach G has been an example, right? And I hope to do that for other young men as well, to be an example of how to be a father to their children. He's done that for me as well.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So you were like Coach G, are you in a mentor field, either a teacher or a coach or something along those lines?
I was coaching with him years back.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I coached under him for a few years, and no, right now I just do consulting. But even in that world, we're teaching, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Even in that world, we're teaching and being an example.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
What kind of consulting
every day?
Because I do consulting too, and that's very much a teaching job. So what kind of consulting do you do?
Consulting and technical sales.
Okay.
So,
nice. Okay. Awesome, man. Hey, nice to meet you, brother. And happy Father's Day. Keep being the great father. I know you already will. I'm just,
No, I appreciate that. We need that encouragement. We need to keep hearing it though, too, right?
Right, exactly. Hey, you gotta keep it up. Keep it up, Pops. Come on now.
But hey, man, nice to meet you guys. I appreciate it.
You too.
Good to see you, man.
You too, man.
Love you, bro. Man, I'm gonna run into you.
Coach G, and actually,
happy Father's Day to y'all.
Happy
Father's
Father's Day
to you too, brother.
Hey, you can stick around for this question I'm gonna ask. Well, Coach G.
What a treat, man.
Yeah,
what a treat for me, man.
That was a very much a treat. I do got one other question for you, because you made a prediction, and it was a solid prediction on the NFL and everything. So NBA, is Dallas going to make it to Game 6, or are they going out on tomorrow on Monday? And the same with the Edmonton Oilers. So what's your call?
Dallas is done.
Dallas is done. They're going out on Monday.
They're out on Monday. I haven't watched the other one, so I just know Dallas. Okay, Dallas is done.
Yeah, they blew them out, and I think Boston's going to be mad. So
I think Boston gave them that one, but
Yeah. And you haven't watched the other one. That one's an 0-3 one too. I think that goes to the night to see if they get swept. But yeah, the hockey's almost done too. So I think that the Panthers or the Florida team will win that one because you're not coming back from 3 down.
Man, I'm just sitting here thinking of what a treat that's going to be for Frank to listen to the show when his daughter spoke earlier.
Yeah,
right, about him.
And then he gets to hear now his part. That's going to be a definite treat.
Oh, what a show, man.
And they can splice it up and use it for whatever they need to do it themselves. Yeah. I'm perfectly fine with that.
Yeah. This was a great show, guys. Good work.
Absolutely.
Great work. So, like I said, we'll go out with the original notion I had, which is keeping our kids safe, PSA, and the mental health one. But as always, another great job.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Hey, peace and love.
Peace.
If you're talking, they will hear you.
We all want our kids to grow up safe and healthy, so we show them how. And we tell them with honest conversations that let them know what we expect. Not just one time, but every chance we get. That's especially important when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. Kids not only need to know the dangers and how to avoid them, they need to hear it often from you. And when it comes to pain medications, opioids, they need to know that they should never be taken without a prescription and never shared with friends or family. It's dangerous and illegal. So talk with your kids and guide them through the challenges of growing up safe and healthy. Because when you talk, they hear you. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
So talk, they hear you. You can do it if you try.
If you're watching this with your friends,
you'll probably make a joke.
Because you know what you feel on the inside
isn't what you want people to know.
If you have to pretend to be happy,
find someone you trust and tell them.
If you get mad at things and you don't know why, or have thoughts about hurting yourself,
find someone you trust and tell them.
You are never alone when you share.
Seriously, people care about you.
It's okay to not understand what you're feeling.
And it's easy to think that you're all alone.
But you don't have to be.
You're never alone when you share.
Don't be ashamed to tell someone you trust what you're feeling.
You're not alone.
You are not alone.
Find someone you trust and tell them.
Tell a parent.
Tell a teacher. Tell a brother or sister.
Or just tell a friend.
You haven't done anything wrong.
Talk to someone.
Talk to someone. It's how things get better.